Hi everyone, my name is Siddarth Shankar, and today we'll be talking about responsible leadership and its role in Sustainable Development Goals, also known as SDGs, in our subject, which is MBA 909. So today before we start, we'll just go over a quick rundown as how we go about our day today. So we'll start by our introduction, our choice of SDG, responsible leadership, how leadership is related to my SDG choice, what is the role of being a responsible leader, and finally our conclusion. And we will end up with our references for wherever sources we have taken from. So the first question is, what are SDGs? And now, by defining it, SDGs are 17 big goals which are made by the United Nations to make the world a better place by 2030. So they primarily focus on things like ending poverty, protecting nature, making sure everyone has a fair chance of life, and we will also go into detail as to what the choice is. So today I have chosen the SDG 13 as which is climate action as our sustainable development goal. Now, why did I choose SDG 13 or climate action as a sustainable development goal? So we know that every year the weather becomes hotter, we see more natural disasters like floods, storms and pollution, and we know this is a real problem. So the UN SDG index actually says that many countries are not on track to fix it on time. I care about this goal. It's because not just about the environment, it's about the people, it's the family, and their future. So, climate change actually not only affects our food, our homes, and our health, we need to actually be responsible. Rather than only caring about money and profits, we need to be responsible leaders who think about everyone and their future. Now, what does it mean to be a responsible leader? It means about being honest, being kind, and caring for other people. It means about thinking about how your choices can affect people, the planet, and its future. Now, responsible leaders listen to others. They tell the truth and make fair choices. They not only focus on profit, they also focus on what's doing right ethically. A good example from the ideas of Muff and other researchers, you can say, is that responsible leaders care more about people and nature, and they also work well with others and create a change, a transformation that helps everyone. So, how does responsible leadership actually help this SDG 13? It can work three ways: social, economical, and environmental. Now, firstly, is making good choices. So, leaders can actually build trust who care more about the planet by making choices to protect it. We can see, by example, from a company like IKEA, which uses more renewable materials and tries to be more climate positive. The second idea is working together. So, as an economy, no one has to fight climate change alone. And we have seen evidence that companies like Verizon and MasterCard have said that real progress actually happens when businesses, governments, charities, and people work in tandem. So, responsible leaders actually build trust and make teamwork possible in an economy. Now, encouraging new ideas is another great idea for environmental, as we need to find new ways to solve problems, right? So, the UN Sustainable Development Network actually says that innovation and new creative ideas can actually help fill the 2.5 trillion dollar gap, which is needed to reach the Sustainable Development Goals. And these leaders can actually inspire teams to try new things and make bold changes. Now, before we conclude, let me tell you and make you understand as how what is the role and how do responsible leaders change and transform an organization or an economy or the entire world as a whole. So how can I or you can help as a responsible leader, even as a student or as a future leader by example? I can lead by example by using less plastic, making choices to save energy, making choices to talk about climate action, be it at work or school, at a meeting, at a workshop, etc. The other way is to always involve others. It's always good as a group, as a collective, to ask friends, co workers, or family to join in on these activities that help and save the future and the planet itself. So, the final thing is to speak up. All this cannot happen if we start speaking up and sharing ideas of how we can be sustainable, how we can create ideas and innovate and encourage others to think about long term and the future for their children. And these small steps actually show ethics and values, and working with others and creating change is all essential parts of being a responsible leader. Now, to finally finish, I actually believe that the only way we can go about this is to show the world that we want to build and be a responsible leader. And how we can show is by leading by example. When leaders care about people, the planet, and the future, real change obviously happens. So, climate change essentially is not a science in general, it's about being a responsible leader with a good heart. So, together, why don't we try to make the world that is fair, safe, and most importantly, green for everyone? Thank you.